I think we're going to see the athletes definitely turn it up here.
ขยันนี่ต่อเนื่องดิวุฒิอ่ะไม่ฟาวแล้วไม่ฟาวแล้ว
Not the most clinch experience that we're seeing come from the Myanmar fighter, as we're seeing him punch in the clinch. It's not typically something that we see in the stadium fights, as with Thai fighters, you're going to see more knees and control coming in the clinch.
အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါ Mr. IMB27 YouTube channel လေးကနေပြီးတော့ပြန်လည်ကြိုဆိုလိုက်ပါတယ်
Usually able to control the fight well. We'll see how he does today, though. Good push kick to the body to start things off. But Saw coming in with very typical Myanmar aggression.
Yeah, as you had mentioned, can see the Myanmar fighters being a bit rough around the edges, and we are seeing that very aggressive style.
Yeah, massive power shot to the inside leg. Yod Nong trying to utilize his elbows, keep him at range, control the pace.
See Yod Nong having a bit of height over the Myanmar fighter. We saw him going to the body of the Myanmar fighter. Ooh.
Dangerous head kick there from Yod Nong. He also opened up with the elbows. Yeah, and there you hear the referee saying it's not foul, it's not foul. The rules here at Fairtex and at Lumpini is if you do hit the groin, it's not considered a foul unless it's a knee, because it's thought that you can block those shots. The athletes, of course, wearing steel cups. Ooh, big shots there from Saul.
Again, we see him going down to the body, as the Thai fighter does have a bit of the height advantage.
Massive elbows here from Yod Nong. And Saw looking to line up a power shot. I think some of these teeps to the body might be working very well. As, dangerous high kick there from Yod Nong. Saw just seems like he's bending over a little bit.
Yeah, not standing too tall in his stance.
Yeah, this is not looking good here. We saw Yod Nong landing some significant strikes in the clinch.
Yeah, we saw the Myanmar fighter kind of crouching down there a bit in the clinch. A little bit of a low teep there.
Ooh, big shots still coming in from Saw. Can Yod Nong continue to hit the breadbasket? Ooh, nice knee to the body there from Yod Nong. Ooh, solid knee to the body again.
I think we might see those knees picking up to the head if we see the Myanmar fighter continuing to crouch down like that in the clinch.
Yeah, definitely give Saw a prescription to paracetamol, the aspirin of Thailand. So last few seconds.
And that does it for the first round here on our fifth bout of this morning's fight card here on Fairtex Fight. Just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We have Thai Wasadu, Channel 7, Taro Entertainment, Ute Sport Gear, and Fairtex. Let's go ahead and take a look back now at the replays. So we saw a lot of beautiful kicks coming from the Thai fighter, very precise against the Myanmar fighter, who showed a wonderful display of aggression. But as we had mentioned, he doesn't have the height advantage against the Thai fighter, and he seemed to be crouching down quite a bit, especially as they got caught up in the clinch. We saw very powerful knees coming from the Thai fighter, Yod Nong. Let's see what we have in store for us here in the second round. We see Yod Nong stretching and just giving a bit of a bow to prayer against his post in his corner before he goes in for the second round. I think we're going to see the athletes definitely turn it up here.
ขยันดีต่อเนื่องดิวุฒิไม่ฟาวนะไม่ฟาวนะ
Not the most clinch experience that we're seeing come from the Myanmar fighter, as we're seeing him punch in the clinch. It's not typically something that we see in the stadium fights, as with Thai fighters, you're going to see more knees and control coming in the clinch.
Yeah, usually it's a sign of a bit of an amateur background or something that unskilled athletes do is punch in the clinch. Never actually seen it work out. You see Saw grabbing onto the ropes there, a little bit cheeky. And Yod Nong definitely had control in that first round. I think he might be able to knock out Saw in the second round. What do you think, Kennedy?
Yes, and I'm not sure what exactly it's going to come from. It could be from those knees, again, as we had seen them wrap up in the clinch. And we see the Myanmar fighter bending just a little too low.
Yeah, Saw does have some power left in his hands, but I'm not sure it's big enough to stop Yod Nong. He, he almost looks like he's about to cry, Saw. And I think I would probably cry if I was on the receiving end of some of these knees.
Yeah, they do not look fun to be taking. I think that's why we're seeing him crouch just even a bit lower than what he's standing against the Thai fighter.
Nice body kick there from Yod Nong. Good knees here coming in from Yod Nong. And, that said, you have to give Saw a decent amount of credit for withstanding a lot of these knees. Definitely a tough customer.
Yeah, we see the Myanmar fighter. He's a powerhouse. I mean, we see him coming forward, landing some effective strikes, but he just doesn't have, I would say, the experience against the Thai fighter.
Yeah, big knees from Yod Nong. It's making Saw so ineffective here. This is a bit of a masterclass in clinching and why the clinch is so important.
Yes, especially here at the stadiums.
And one of the things we just saw that Yod Nong was very smart. As he stood up, he put his hand on Saw's chest. It's definitely a move of domination there. And a headlock.
Yeah, we see him drag the Myanmar fighter down to the canvas, not making it much easier for him to pick himself up.
It looks like the mouthpiece came out too. Yod Nong being very sporting, pointing it out. And just the way Yod Nong dragged Saw down to the ground, it gave me flashbacks of childhood with my siblings.
Yeah, he's definitely big brother in him.
End of round 2.
So, do you think there's any way for Saw to turn this around, Kennedy?
The only way that I could possibly see Saw turning it around would be if he stops punching in the clinch. And, if he was on the outskirts before getting into the clinch, we saw some effective body shots coming from him in the first round. I might say turn back to that. But the issue that we see with Saw going to the body is that he seems to crouch himself a little bit too low. Again, he's at the height disadvantage against Yod Nong. So he has his work cut out for him here in the third round. I would, at this point, really be leaning towards Yod Nong.
Yeah, I would agree. I would be surprised if Saw was able to turn this around in any way. I just don't think he has the power to take out Yod Nong.
ขันยังจับมือยกสุดท้ายนะไม่ฟาวนะขยันเต็มที่นะได้ทำนี่ขยันดิ
And we saw just that knee just effortlessly come up to the head of Sarmood.
Yod Nong continuing to press forward. Beautiful left knee there from him. Solid knees to the side, and there you see him like drag Saw down. Ooh, beautiful body kick there from Yod Nong. Saw coming forward. A lot of times the fighters will have like a bit of a second wind for about 30, 40 seconds after a minute-long break. We'll see if Saw is able to maintain that.
I'd say that the clinch is going to wear him out quite a bit. Again, with especially the way that Yod Nong seems to drag his head down.
Nice knee to the side there from Yod Nong. Good jab to the body there. Solid knee to the body again from Yod Nong. Oh, more knees to the body from Yod Nong. Halfway through this final round, and it's very, very dominant for Yod Nong. To be honest, I could see the referee just waving this off. I saw, defending himself. Yeah, just like the position, the dominance.
Yeah, it's showing massive fatigue coming from the blue corner and just a lot of inexperience here in the clinch. We have just about a minute left here in the third and final round.
Yeah, it was interesting. The referee actually looked over at the head referee, Tanong Pumpanich, to see basically if he should wave it off or not. Just like, oh, is this enough? Because out here, it's it is a sport, it's a martial art, and when there's just a clear domination, a lot of times the referees will wave things off. That way, the athletes don't get unnecessarily damaged.
Yeah, and that makes great sense there.
It's important for athlete safety that they're able to continue on with their lives and their fight career. If there's no possible way they can win or are just being damaged too much, the referee will step in and stop the fight. So last few seconds here.
And that does it for our fifth bout here on this morning's fight card. We see Yod Nong walking back to his corner. Believe that he did indefinitely secure the win, as we saw. Let's take a look back here on the replays. What we saw coming from Yod Nong was a really great clinching game against the Myanmar fighter. Unfortunately, Samu was not very well versed in his clinching game, which is really big here in Thailand. If you're not able to score with the knees and you're punching to the body, it does show an experience. Let's take it on over to Mark Abbott for the final result.
Ladies and gentlemen, after completion of all three rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All three judges scored this bout 30-27. 30-27 และ 30-27 with a winner in the red corner, Yod Nong Muay Thai.
ဆိုတော့အားလုံးရဲ့အမြင်တွေကို comment မှာဝင်ရောက်ဆွေးနွေးပေးသွားလို့ရပါတယ်။ MMA နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့သတင်းအကြောင်းအရာတွေကိုအချိန်နဲ့တပြေးညီတင်ဆက်ပေးနေရမို့လို့ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ YouTube channel လေးကိုလည်း like and subscribe လုပ်တော့ပေးဖို့အားလုံးကိုတောင်းဆိုလိုက်ပါတယ်။အားလုံးကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်။